to Robert Peter Underhill at the Batley Bulldogs represent.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Fox's Biscuits Stadium here in Batley for today's Super 8 qualifier between the Batley Bulldogs and the Featherstone Rovers. Quick rundown of the team news for you. First of all, starting with the Bulldogs. At full back is number 22, Dave Scott. In the three quarters, number 2 is Wayne Retty. Number 4, every Rovers fan's favourite Batley player is Sean Squires. Number 3 is Chris Aluja. And number 26 is Alex Brown. In the half-backs, number 13 is Pat Walker. And number 7 is Don Brambani. In the front row, number 8 is Keegan Hurst. And number 10 is... So number 8 is Keegan Hurst and number 10 is Alex Rowe. In the hooker is number 20, Alistair Leake. In the second row for the Bulldogs, number 11 is Brad Day. Number 19 is Alex Bretherton. And the loose forward is number 15, Adam Gledhill. On the bench for the Bulldogs, number 32 is Sam Smeaton. Number 18 is Tom Lillycrop. Number 9 is Luke Blake. And number 21, James Brown. Changes for Rovers this afternoon from last time out. At full-back is number 15, Ian Hardman. There's no Michael Channing for Rovers today. In comes Jamie Foster on the wing. And Luke Briscoe moves into the centre. He'll be alongside Missy Talapapa. And on the opposite wing is James Duckworth. In the half-backs, Kyle Briggs hasn't made it this afternoon. So his place is taken by Danny Craven. And he'll be alongside Anthony Thackeray. In the front row for Rovers, number 8 is Darryl Griffin. Number 32 is nominated for the Young Player of the Year for the second season in a row is Jordan Baldwinson. In between those two is 23 Andy Ellis. In the second row is Josh Walters and Tim Spears. And the loose forward is the only ever present in the Rovers team this year is Jack Ormondroyd. On the bench for the Rovers, number 19 is Sam Day, 20 Luke Cooper, 21 is Brad Tagg, and number 11 is Steve Snitch. Today's match referee is Joe Cobb. Good afternoon, Joanne.
Good afternoon.
Your thoughts on the team news, first of all?
Obviously, we've got Kyle Briggs missing, haven't we, through injury, and Danny Craven stepped into that standoff role. Ian Hardman going back to the full-back position that, to be honest, he does look the most comfortable in. And then we've got Luke Briscoe stepping into the centre and Jamie Foster returning after that 6-match absence. So he tweeted this morning to say that he couldn't wait to get back playing on the field. Featherstone, they're going down the slope for the first half, so it's going to be a matter of racking as many points on the board as we possibly can this first half. Weather's been a bit strange today, a bit mixed. It's very rainy this morning, but this afternoon the sun's come out a little bit, so let's hope it stays nice and dry and we don't end up in a rain fest.
Just looking down that Bulldogs team as well, where do you see the threats in that Batley team?
Again, Batley, they're a good, complete team, aren't they? And they don't like being at the basement of these Super 8 qualifiers no more than Featherstone Rovers do. They're both on 0 points and they'll be looking for the win as much as Featherstone Rovers are this afternoon. Obviously, players like Patch Walker that they got from Sheffield have been really influential for the Batley Bulldogs this season, as have the former Sheffield players for Featherstone Rovers. Dave Scott's a good fullback, always good at retrieving the ball and brings it up with speed. And there's the centres with Chris Aluja and Sean Squires. Just as the teams are entering the field now. In the forwards, Alex Rowe, Alex Bretherton, the two Alexes, always a force to be reckoned with, difficult to handle. But the way that Featherstone Rovers handled the Lee forwards 2 weeks ago, they just need to have that same attitude and application today, and they should be okay.
Just how much can the Rovers take from the last time they came down here in the league? In what was probably the most complete performance of the season when they started that mini run to get us into these qualifiers.
Oh, well, I guess they could take a lot, but it was in a different situation. Just as Featherstone Rovers entering the field, Featherstone had to win that game to get in the top 4. They'd come off the back of a win at Halifax. They were on a roll. I think maybe if you ask John Sharp that question, he'd say it's in the past now and today's today. We have got a good track record against Batley. We've won 15 out of the last 18 games against Batley. That's going back to 2009. So we do seem to have that moniker over them, don't we? We do have that hold over Batley in the cup this season as well. So I think stats, you can't go on statistics. It's got to be what's on the day and the attitude and game management of the teams on the day. I think more importantly, John Sharp would have been heartened by the performance that we had against Lee 2 weeks ago, rather than the previous 2 games against Leeds and Huddersfield. That was the important one for me. I think it's on your last game and how you performed and what you do since that. Ref's just kicking off now.
There's the kick-off, but Rovers playing down the hill in this first half. Here's Alex Rowe with the first drive. So it's Batley Bulldogs against Featherstone Rovers in the Super 8 qualifiers. The Bulldogs playing up the slope in this first half towards the Rovers fans, away to our left. Here they are on that right-hand side. The ball's been lost and there's a penalty. So the first of the afternoon. Not the start Rovers will have wanted. And here's Brambana, he will find touch. And the Bulldogs are starting this set now on halfway. So there's that first drive now. Here's Keegan Hurst, going to Wakefield next year. Keegan Hurst. And here's Alex Rowe now. Gets the ball away to Alistair Leake. The Bulldogs on the Rovers 20. Here's Alex Rowe. A bit of a dodgy pass, shall we say, from Keegan Hurst to Alex Rowe there. Not a lot Alex Rowe could do with it. Brambani, Walker. That ball's been put down by Chris Aluja. Recovered by Ian Hardman, so a good defensive set for Rovers. And now Rovers looking to work out that. Hardman from acting halfback finds Duckworth now. Baldwinson moves the ball out to Anthony Thackeray. Thackeray, that ball's worked out. Rovers cut inside with Talapapa. This is a great set. Thackeray now shows it outside, comes inside to Griffin. Rovers are inside the Bulldogs. Well, on the Bulldogs 20. Thackeray finds Baldwinston. On the charge, Jordan Baldwinston. That's a great drive. Rovers under the sticks. Swung out left to Thackeray. He'll put a kick over the top. Rovers over. No, they're not. I thought for a minute Rovers were over in the corner there, but the ball's not been grounded. But a great first attack from Rovers there, Joanne, showing the skills and the quality to get down the other end of the field and causing a lot of problems early on.
Yeah, it was great attack, wasn't it? From Chris Aluja losing the ball on the 15 metres away from the Featherstone line. Luke Briscoe picked it up, came away with it. And then it was lovely linking play. Anthony Thackeray turning on the speed. Josh Walters there at his side to take the ball. Managed to offload to Talapapa, who looked strong down that left wing. And the attack went right to the wire with Thackeray taking that kick on the last, and just unfortunate that the ball couldn't be put down in the corner there by Jamie Foster. So Batley are on the attack now, bringing it up. They've kicked on the last, and the kickers found touch about 10. So the scrum will take place 10 metres away from the Featherstone line with a Featherstone put in.
Good kick from the Bulldogs, almost reminiscent to what Rovers were doing when they were here when they were here in the league, in that build up, you know, and the start of that really good run. Finding touch early with the kicks up the field, turning the Bulldogs round, and that was a benchmark on the great start that Rovers made, wasn't it?
It was, yeah, but equally Featherstone have had a good set just prior to that, so you could perhaps say with the slope pretty evenly matched in these early stages. I think the test will be to see what Featherstone do with this next set of 6 that they've taken from this scrum now, as Ian Harmon just takes it in on the last. Jack Ormonroyd there. His 50th game for Featherstone Rovers today, Jack Ormonroyd. His first game was against Thatto Heath in April 2013, so you don't realise how quickly they rack up, but he has been ever present this season, as Jack.
Rovers only ever present. Here's Jordan Baldwinston now. Rovers just shy of halfway. Here's that last tackle. So Danny Craven puts that ball in the air. That's a spiralling. It's bounced. Where's that gone? It's bounced dead in goal. So it's going to be a restart for the Bulldogs on the 20. We've had 5 minutes here. It's still Batley Bulldogs 0, Featherstone Rovers 0. And Danny Craven really giving that ball some air.
It did. It really went high into the head of that ball, and always up here at the Mount. We're up on top of a hill. That's a great tackle coming in from Luke Briscoe there. But as I was just going to say, it's on top of a hill here at the Mount, and it does have quite strange conditions, and the wind really took that high kick that Danny Craven put in, and I thought it was going to go out on the full, but it didn't. It went dead, which was probably a better solution for us. Batley with a bit of a roll on here with Keegan Hurst. It's gone to the last tackle. Brambani's got the ball. What is he going to do? It's running it, puts a little chip over the top, and Hardman takes it, but he's really clattered in defence. That was good play by Batley, but it's equally good play by Hardman as the rain has just started to come down here at Batley.
Great positioning from Ian Hardman. So here's Duckworth. Gets Rovers over the 40. Makes 5 metres. Still going, Duckworth. He's made 20, 30 metres almost, with 3 players on his back. And what a penalty. That is fantastic play from James Duckworth. Making fully 25 metres there with 3 players on his back, Joanne. Penalty as well. That's superb.
When he came to the club, we did interview him and we called him the prop forward on the wing, and that goes to show you his strength. He's a big lad, is James, and really earned the side a penalty as well. So Featherstone at the minute just over 10 metres away from that Batley try line.
Here's Danny Craven now. That ball's been put down though by Jack Ormonroyd. It was a short pass from Craven to Ormonroyd, so the chance is gone. Disappointing there. But what a break from Duckworth to set the opportunity up. Rovers showing that they they want this today. And it's the battle of the bottom two. It's Batley 8th versus Featherstone 7th. So both these teams on nil point, as they say in Eurovision. And here come the Bulldogs now with Aluja. And the Bulldogs now looking to break from their own 20. Tim Spears in the tackle there, a former Batley player. Oh, that ball's put down. That's a great hit from Featherstone Rovers. It was Danny Craven, it was. That's a mistake from the Bulldogs on their own 30. And what an opportunity for Featherstone with 8 minutes on the clock, Joanne.
Yeah, Batley trying to claim for a penalty there. I think they were asking whether Danny Craven had done a shoulder charge, but it wasn't. It was just a tough challenge, and the ball came out, and Featherstone in a really good position. And you feel that we need to convert this to points pretty soon, don't you, with the amount of possession and territory that we've got against Batley at the moment.
Ian Hardman plays that ball. That's a good drive in, lifted off the floor, but then put back down safely. Ellis finds Spears. Not the best pass for Spears. But Rovers are in the Bulldogs 20 again. Hardman finds Briscoe. Briscoe gets the ball out to Foster, but no, it's gone dead. What's the referee going to say? Drop out, so it has come off the Bulldogs. One or two looks of confusion in that Batley defence, but the ball has been put out. So it's going to be a dropout, and Rovers force a repeat set. That's a great way to end that set, Joanne.
Yeah, Luke Briscoe showing his strength there as he was taking that ball forward. Got 3 players round and still managed to get the ball away. It did come off the Batley player right in front of the touch judge, so he's called it for the dropout. The dropout has bounced on the floor. It's a tricky one, but Hardman's got to it. So Featherstone 40 metres away from the line. They'd have perhaps hoped to have been a bit nearer than that, but to go as Daryl Griffin takes it in now. But yeah, Briscoe just unable to get that ball out to Duckworth. You'd have felt that Duckworth would have scored if he'd have been able to take it there in the corner. And that ball from Craven, I think it was meant to miss out Tim Spears, was that ball, but it actually, Craven's pass hit Tim Spears. It flew up onto the air and it's gone to Batley. So completion rate for Featherstone not particularly grand at the moment.
No, I don't think that ball was meant for Tim Spears. And Rovers now penalised for offside by Mr. Cobb. So the ball is put into touch and the Bulldogs starting 35 out. Alice Delete plays that tap. And there's the first drive in from Gledhill. The Bulldogs are on the Rovers 30. The ball's worked out to Aluja. Great play from James Duckworth there in defence. Closed that chance down very quickly. The Bulldogs are into the Rovers 20. On the charge goes Brad Day up to the 10 now. Lee Quates finds Alex Rowe. But well wrapped up is Alex Rowe. He's got the ball away. Another offload there. Here come the Bulldogs. It's an early kick and it's knocked on. What's the call going to be now? Mr. Cobb says that's a knock-on for the Bulldogs. So both teams having early chances, Joanne, in the opening 11 minutes. But knock-ons in both corners. So Rovers survived scrambling defence. It was good play from the Bulldogs. But just not able to ground the ball cleanly either.
No, I think Featherstone escaped with that one. It was a good kick through and Aluja just unlucky not to get it down on the floor. It was a close one. Need to have a look at Alex Rowe and prevent his offloads. He's done a few offloads now as Rowe. And when he's had 2 or 3 people around him, Jamie Foster just taking it forward there. So Featherstone trying to bring it out of their own 20 metres. They've got over the 20-metre line. There's an offload. And it's gone to Jamie Foster. He slips on the turf, though. And forward to the 30-metre line of Featherstone. 12 minutes got the ball's lost again there. Jordan Baldwinson spilling the ball. So again, another set of 6 not completed. saying that there's 13 minutes gone. It's still 0-0 in this game. It's a tight contest at this moment in time, but like I was saying, when you're going down the slope, you need to be putting the points on the board and completing those sets.
Here are the Bulldogs and on the Rovers 30, centre field. Left again. That's great play from Brad Day. What a tackle by Craven. Walker, they go down the left again. It's Dave Scott now. Walker again. That's great play from the Bulldogs. Great defence again from Craven. Walker. That's an awful pass. Not the best kick either, although it's going to work through. Is it? Oh, the Bulldogs are over in the corner. You could call that a lucky try, it has to be said. The ball works from Walker out to that right-hand side. It was a loose pass. I think Brambani couldn't take it cleanly, but kicked it to the corner instead. And on that far corner, ball is grounded by Wayne Retty. The Bulldogs are over, and with 13 and a half gone, Joanne, Batley Bulldogs 4, Featherstone Rovers 0.
Had the urgency in their attack there, didn't they? In that 20-metre area out here on the left, they looked as though they'd got a bit of pace and urgency about them. But it was the last tackle. The ball went out to the right. It was a shocking pass. Brambani scooted straight past him on the floor, and it was actually Adam Gledhill who picked it up and scuffed a kick, a speculative kick out to that corner. It wrong-footed the Featherstone defence because they weren't expecting a kick from Gledhill, and the person who was the fastest to that ball was Wayne Retty. Put it down. The conversion attempt is not successful. So 14 minutes gone. It's Featherstone Rovers, Batley 0, Batley 4, Featherstone Rovers 0. And we need to be turning this round. I think looking at it, completion rate is the key at the moment. Batley are completing, we're not.
Just to clarify, it is Batley 4, Featherstone Rovers 0. Joanne had about 4 goals of getting that right and only just got it. But Rovers are going to kick off again. Danny Craven with the kick off. It's deep. Taken by the Bulldogs. And here goes Alex Rowe. Normally comes off the bench, does Alex Rowe. He is very much an impact player, but given a starting place today. And here are Bulldogs and Keegan Hurst. Here's Retty now. Hurst again moves that ball out wide. Good defence though from the Rovers. Here's a scoop from Alistair Leake. He offloads the ball. The ball's worked out right again. It's another kick for the corner. This time it finds touch, and Batley at the minute are causing a lot of problems, Joanne. And the key thing for Rovers now is how they respond to this.
Batley are breaking through the defence, aren't they? You'd be thinking that they were the team going down the hill. They're going up the hill, and they are breaking through the Featherstone defence with ease at the moment. Featherstone look to be the strongest team in the opening exchanges of this game, but Batley have come on top. They've got the tails up with that score, and that was a good set of 6 from them. And even though it did find touch, that kick, it's still that Featherstone have got to be bringing it away from their own 10-metre line. And it depends how, like you say, Ben, it depends how far they can get with this set of 6. They're taking the ball standing still at the moment. That's the only thing that I would say. We've got 3 tackles, and we've only got just over the 20-metre line. Darryl Griffin taking it up now to 30 metres. It's really important that we complete this set and have a good kick on. Looks like we're going to kick on this one on the 4th. Danny Craven taking the kick. It's a good kick. Brown managed to keep it under control. He's picked it up. There's a decent chase there. Thackeray there, the first man in, help assisted by Craven and Ormonroyd.
A better set there for Rovers. Thackeray kicking early, trying to go for the 40-20. But great positioning on the wing there from Alex Brown. Here are the Bulldogs now. They're working it across field. I was going to say in the early exchanges, Batley looked for having a bit of joy down the left. But in the build-up to that try, and certainly since the try, seems to be focusing a lot more on their right Rovers left-hand side defence at the minute.
I think they're doing both, to be honest.
Here they are, centre field now with Alex Rowe. Just inside the Rovers 40, Alice Delete goes right again. Brambani with another kick. Ian Hardman happy to let that one run. It's gone touching goal, so it'll be a restart for Rovers on the 20.
I think the reason why it goes out to the right towards the end of the Batley set of 6 is that Brambani likes to kick on that side, and he's the main kicker. I think he's the only one who's put the kicks in for Batley so far, so he's quite instrumental on their last play, and that's why it goes out to the right there. So it might be worth us having a look at that. I'm sure that we will. Jamie Foster gets the ball there away well to Ian Hardman. Featherstone made it up to 35 metres away from the line, got a few tackles in this set. Rain's still coming down. It's that fine drizzly rain, so that could affect the holding of the ball by the players. Baldwinson plays the ball, goes over to the left to Craven. He shapes to kick, but doesn't. Goes to Thackeray and then to Talapapa. Walters, out there on the left. Walters plays the ball, comes to Craven now on the last. Floats a crossfield kick to Duckworth, who... I think that could be a try there. The referee's just going to consult with the in-goal judge. But it looks like that could be a try. It looks like Alex Brown spilt the ball. Duckworth was challenging for it. He's going to give a try, I think. No, he's consulting the touch judge now. It's a try. So Featherstone Rovers got a try there. I do believe it was Luke Briscoe that got that ball down. It was a great floating crossfield kick by Danny Craven. James Duckworth challenged Alex Brown for it in the air. The ball came off Alex Brown. It came loose, and I do believe it was Luke Briscoe that touched down.
I think it was myself. What a great kick, though, by Danny Craven. Spiralling in the rain. And like you say, Alex Brown unable to take that ball. And Briscoe looked to be the quickest to respond to it. And with 20 minutes gone here, Rovers has hit back. It's the Bulldogs 4, the Rovers 4. And Jamie Deadeye Foster with the ball in hand, ready for the conversion attempts. This will nudge Rovers in front, and I think on the balance of the opening quarter, I think this is probably a fair reflection moment. Just the one goal between us at the moment. If Foster does kick this, the Bulldogs have made a change. Off comes Alex Rowe.
I'm just going to mention while Jamie Foster is teeing this kick up, the attack that led us to get down the field was from an offload by Jamie Foster in the middle of the field that sent the Rovers forward and put Batley on the back foot. So well done, Jamie Foster, in being instrumental in doing that. He's just eyeing up the kick. He's pulled it wide. He's pulled it in front of the goal. So maybe those 6 weeks out is just a little bit out of practice, but he pulls it across the face of the goal, that kick. So after 19 minutes, it remains Batley Bulldogs 4, Featherstone Rovers 4.
So we've got hit the 20-minute mark and scores all level at 4 apiece. I've made a change. Alex Rowe has come off. And on, I think, has come James Brown. There's a high spiralling kickoff. Well taken by Danny Craven. Slow to clear the ruck there, the Bulldogs. Here's Darryl Griffin now. That's better. A great run from Griffin. Baldwinson now. Nominated for Young Player of the Year, he's told us on his Facebook, Twitter this week. Thackeray works it out right to Walters, who gets up to halfway. Ellis finds Thackeray. Thackeray to Spears. Spears drives that ball in. Here's the last tackle then. So it's Danny Craven again. He puts the ball in the air again. Has Dave Scott under this? takes it superbly. Good chase back as well. Here's that Rovers defence is looking strong. And Joanne, Danny Craven in a minute is causing havoc in that Bulldogs defence with those kicks.
Yeah, there's no swirling rain at the moment. The rain has stopped and there's blue sky there. The sun's about to come out, but that was a great kick. Dave Scott, though, measured it up well. He took his time, didn't panic, took the ball well, but he was under his own sticks, and the Featherstone chase was good with Anthony Thackeray eventually capturing Dave Scott and getting him tackled. So Batley, they're on the last tackle now. That was a poor play, the ball and knocked on. That was a shocking play, the ball there by James Brown. He's just entered the field and he dropped the ball as he went to play it on the last tackle. They were probably looking for a quick kick. And so there's a Featherstone Rovers scrum 30 metres away, 25 metres away from that Batley line. So it's a great position they're in.
I see Steve snitched momentarily. Tom Lillycrop has come on for the Bulldogs as well, and Keegan Hurst has come off. So the ball is worked out, left by Ellis. Thackeray through a gap. He's just collared. The ball's come loose though. That's a knock on. What's the referee going to say here? 2 knock-ons. And now it's a penalty for speaking out of turn to Mr. Cobb. So the Bulldogs actually get a penalty instead. Disappointment for Rovers there. It's Darryl Griffin who's come off. And it's Steve Snitch who's come on for Rovers. So that's to be interesting to see how that works out.
So yeah, from Batley knocking on, Featherstone being in an advantageous position. Thackeray took it. He went round the outside. He got collared quite high, looked around the collar by Sean Squires. Referee deemed it was legal. There seemed to be a bit of a mess at the play of the ball, and referee gave a knock on. He was about to give it to Batley, and then we said something out of turn as the ball goes out to Alex Brown. As Batley come forward. Batley are only 20 metres away from the Featherstone line, but yeah, it was deemed a knock on, so Batley in a good position here, Ben.
Walker's foul to Brambani. Brambani shows it out and takes on the line himself. Bulldogs 8 metres away from that Rovers line. Walker out wide. The ball's worked out again to Reddy. Scrambling defence from Featherstone Rovers. It's the last tackle now. So Brambani goes himself. That is superb defence. Superb defence. The ball is knocked on. Scrambling defence from Rovers, but it's worked and the Bulldogs have knocked on the last. So that's a turnover. Rovers can bring it out from the 10. Here's Talapapa and great defence, Joanne.
And Featherstone get a penalty there for offside. So Missy Talapapa taking the ball. It was a quick play of the ball there. It was good play by Featherstone. Caught Batley offside, so they're going to get a penalty that's going to take them some metres down that field. But yeah, Featherstone did well there to keep Batley out. They were looking lively. It was quite an exciting bit of play. The ball went to Brambani on the last. He fancied himself. Didn't quite get there. There was last-ditch tackles going in, and in the end, he released the ball, but Batley came up with a knock-on. So Featherstone now 40 metres away from that line with Jordan Baldwinson just taking it up. So 40 metres away from the Batley line. Good chance here.
Going to see Luke Cooper in a moment. Baldwinson plays that ball. That's his last involvement. Craven takes on the ball himself. Off comes Jordan Baldwinson. On comes Luke Cooper. Here are Rovers now, though, just outside the Bulldogs 20. Ellis. Craven out to Thackeray. That's off the Bulldogs. That's got to be a knock-on. And is. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because the ball was knocked on by the Bulldogs back on their own, outside their own 20-metre area. So that chase up by the Bulldogs was for nothing. It's going to be a scrum down, head and feet to Rovers on the Bulldogs 20, and another great opportunity, Joanne, with 15 minutes left in the first half.
Poor James Duckworth, he came from his his own wing here next to us, and he came right across the field chasing, helping that Missy Talapapa with that chase on Wayne Retty, all for nothing because the referee had pulled it up straight away for a knock on. But with the noise of the crowd, the players just didn't hear it at all. So such a shame that he's had to do all that running, but they'll be gasping some big ones on this wing now, I think. But got a bit of a stopping play while we're waiting for the players to get back in, and referee not happy with that scrum, came out, and Thackeray's got the ball again to refeed it. Comes out again, goes to Hardman as the first receiver. Ellis waiting at dummy half, gets it out to Snitch. Snitch takes it forward in the centre of the field. Featherstone just short of that 20-metre mark. Craven gets it out to Thackeray. Thackeray to Josh Walters. Walters gets the ball away to Talapapa, who evades the first tackler, but is wrapped up second. Does well to stay in the field of play. Foster gets it across to the right to Thackeray. Thackeray to Craven. Craven back on the inside to Orman Roy, but he's wrapped up well. But here, Andy Ellis fancies himself a go on his own, just short of the line there. Ball comes out quickly. There's a kick, and that's well gathered by the Batley player. Can't quite see who it was who gathered that ball, but that was well retrieved on the ball by Batley. So decent set of six by Featherstone, but Batley equally up to the task, keeping them out.
Indeed, great play it was by Des Scott, I think, at full, but here's Alex Brown now. So the Bulldogs looking to work out from their own. They're just short of their own 30-metre line now. Ball is worked in field. Here's James Brown. That's great defence though by Danny Craven and Luke Cooper. So it's going to have to be an early kick. Foster comes across, feels it just on his own 20. He'll return that ball. Makes 10 metres. Andy Ellis comes off for a breather. On comes Sam Day. So Andy Ellis off for a breather. Sam Day on for Rovers. He's going to have an early scoot. Gets just shy of halfway now. Drops the pass off to Spears. Sam Day. Not the best of Thackeray on that occasion. That's better. Danny Craven puts the ball in the air again. Brown underneath it. Takes that superbly. Stays in the field of play. And with 12 minutes left in the first half, it's still Batley 4, Featherstone 4. That's great defence from Rovers. If they can keep the discipline, keep the Bulldogs pinned back here, this is going to be a great opportunity. Brown now. 3 or 4 tackles gone. The Bulldogs only just on their own 20. Ball's worked out that right-hand side. A long pass out wide to Squires. Squires finds Retty. Bulldogs just shy of halfway. Here's the last tackle, so ball in the air, that's spiralling. Bounces awkwardly. Thackeray not interested. So the ball is out on the Rovers 30. Great defensive set there for Rovers. And I'll tell you something, Joanne, in the opening half an hour, one of the players who has really impressed me so far this afternoon for Rovers has been Danny Craven.
Well, Craven's been doing the majority of the kicking game, hasn't he? And he's come up with some important tackles when Batley have been attacking near the try line as well. So yeah, he's had a great first half as Craven in the main. Do feel with just over 10 minutes left in this first half, there's a penalty to Featherstone there on halfway. So Craven's going to put the boot to ball and put Featherstone. That's a great kick. Featherstone are going to take this tap 10 metres away from the line. And I was just going to say, with 10 minutes remaining, it's one of those where you would want us to be putting some more points on the board before half time.
That's a great first strike from Duckworth. Sam Day finds Ormondroyd. Brad Tagg's come on for Rovers. Tim Spears has come off. Bradley Tagg 8 metres away. Right under the sticks. Craven again swings it out to Thackeray. Thackeray, that's good defence so from the Bulldogs. Andy's pushed back, but he's helped out there by Josh Walters. So Rovers, that's great play from Sam Day. It's held up just short though. Walters is acting halfback now. And you can tell it's not an acting halfback at all. Craven finds Hardman. Hardman away from one. Finds Duckworth. Defence from the Bulldogs. That's on the last, it's a turnover. And from a Batley point of view, Joanne, they can take a lot from this first half that they have kept Rovers down to just the one score.
Yeah, probably Aaron doing those. It was good play from both sides, really. Sam Day with a enterprising little run, almost made it over the line. But then the next play from that really poor pass, wasn't it, into the field. And then looks like they're going for a 40-20 here. Batley just stopped the commentary a moment, but it's not going to reach there. Jamie Foster gets back and passes to Ian Hardman, who evades the first chasing tackle from Brown. Don't think Jamie Foster fancied taking it up then, passed it to Ian Hardman. But yeah, that play on the last, we could have gone for a kick, but it almost did come off with James Duckworth there, getting over the line. But good defence by Batley, and it's a tight one, is this? But there's a what a shame. Sam Day managed to get through Luke Briscoe. He got the pass away to Luke Briscoe, but it just went behind him. He just couldn't take the ball. That was a great little dart from Sam Day. And a lovely pass round the back to Luke Briscoe. And if Luke Briscoe had caught that would have been a try to Featherstone Rovers. He'd have raced away 60 metres to score that try. But as it is, the scrum will go down to Batley, just short of the 40-metre line. With 8 minutes remaining, it's still all square here, 4-all at Batley. I always say the slope's a 12-point slope, but we shall see in the second half.
Rovers in the league this season have won both the league games, 14-12 at the Big Fella Stadium in the second week, and then obviously a great victory here in the build-up towards the end of the season. But here are the Bulldogs now. Batley, of course, winning in the cup. Here goes Lillycrop. Batley now 15 metres away under the sticks. That ball's lost. It's a knock on. So Rovers will take that very happily. Tom Lillycrop appealing there to Mr. Cobb. But Mr. Cobb saw nothing wrong with that. So there's a knock on. And that's again superb defence from Featherstone Rovers.
Well, yeah, the defence was there, wasn't it? On Lillycrop, Lillycrop lost the ball in the ruck. Mr. Cobb said that it was a knock-on. Batley players not happy with that. It's difficult to see what did go on, but the fact is that Featherstone have got that scrum. But it's in the wrong area of the field for us, really. We take it up to the 20-metre line, away from our own line. And Luke Briscoe takes it up himself from acting half. Makes it up 10 metres, and that's a penalty to Featherstone, messing about the play of the ball. Luke Briscoe trying to get up to play the ball, going for a quick one, but he wasn't allowed to do so by Patch Walker. So Featherstone are going to take the tap here, 40 metres away from the Batley line.
A great touch finder as well from Craven again. Here he is now. Finds Steve Snitch, is well wrapped up by 3. Rovers on the 30. Sam Day goes left. Tag out to Thackeray. He kicks early, does Thackeray. Tyler Papa chasing. Trapping the Bulldogs deep in their own, tight to their own line. And if Rovers can have a good defensive set here, that could prove to be a great decision. The Bulldogs, so here's a Lucha. That ball's away to Brown. Duckworth across quickly. Brown works in field. Brown, the other Brown, James Brown, battling out through a gap. What a tackle by Bradley Tagg. Bulldogs on halfway there, kicking early now. That'll do from a Batley point of view. What a passage of play there. Rovers kicking early. With 5.5 minutes left, the Bulldogs brought that ball out well. They've kicked early as well. And a great passage of play there, Joanne.
I'm just not sure why we kicked early in that set of 6, because there was a man back. I could understand it if there hadn't been a Batley defender back there to cover, but there was. So I didn't feel that us kicking early was catching anybody out or offering any extra advantage. All it offered was Batley the possession back. And for me, I think we should be making Batley tackle as much as possible in this first half and tiring them out. But what happened was Batley managed to get up the field with a break by Alex Brown, who got it out in the inside, and they managed to make the way up the field, and Featherstone bringing it away from 10 metres in their own half a game here. Sam Day showing, but he gets wrapped up. He tried to do a show and go, but he got wrapped up well there. Batley coming in on the tackle well there. Featherstone with Craven kicking early in the tackle. I think that was needed. We were struggling a little bit, and they've got a man back there with Dave Scott. Dave Scott's going to bring it up the field. Featherstone chase is good though. Up to the 10-metre line.
Here's Wayne Retty now. Just outside the Bulldogs 20. Here's Alex Brown. That could have been a high tackle, but Batley fans wanted a high tackle. Here's Lillycrop, and that's great play from Josh Walters. Here's James Brown. Walters in that tackle again. On the last tackle now, the Batley Bulldogs on halfway. Walker puts a spiralling bomb in the air. Duckworth takes that well. Gets away from Alex Brown. Duckworth away. Cuts his field, still going. What a break from James Duckworth. And there's a penalty. And that could easily be a yellow card. For mine, it should be a yellow card. The question is being asked, do we take the 2? With 3 minutes left. Craven, though, takes the tap today. Here's Cooper. Dancing away from one. He's held up on the Batley 30, though. Centre field, Day. Snitch. Out to Thackeray. Thackeray tries to step away. Walters now. He's held up. That's a shocker of a pass. Rovers have wasted a tackle there. Snitch did well to drop on it. Here's Bradley Tagg now to Craven. Hagman! That's Duckworth! James Duckworth is over in the corner. And that is absolutely super play from Featherstone Rovers. The ball worked out from Craven to Hardman. Hardman drew in the winger, got the ball away to Duckworth. Duckworth 15 metres out. An open line, able to get over in the corner. And Rovers needed that. And with 2 minutes left in the first half here at the Foxes Biscuits Stadium, it's Batley Bulldogs 4, Featherstone Rovers 8. Joanne.
James Duckworth fully deserves that try. The break that he made here to put Featherstone in that position was top class. He went on the outside of Alex Brown, charged down the wing, had the sense to come inside when Dave Scott was coming across for him. He got tackled. The penalty was given, put Featherstone in an excellent position. great play by Featherstone, apart from that errant pass that happened. But after that, it all went really well. Went out to Craven. Craven has had a great first half, as we were mentioning before. He's been interlinking in all the play, as has Hardman. You know, Hardman's been so reliable for that attacking play, where he comes from full-back, links in, came into the line. Like you say, he drew the Batley players, and that left Duckworth able to go over in the corner. So great try that to see. It was as a fan, Foster just with the conversion attempt, and he's just missed that as well. Not quite got his kicking boots on. To be fair, it was a hard one. That it was way out in the corner here, wasn't it? But 1 minute 20 seconds remaining. It's Batley Bulldogs 4, Featherstone Rovers 8.
So Rovers with the lead. Looks like they're going to take in the lead into half time. Maybe not quite as big a lead as they'd have wanted going into half time, but crucially it is a lead. So it's going to be Pat Walker who's going to restart. Does restart. That's another great kickoff, and the Bulldogs have come up with it. And they're the ones who are going to have the last set. Here goes the Lucha. Have they got time to do anything with it? 35 seconds left. Luke Blake is on for the Bulldogs. They're 15 metres out. Blake to Brambana. Here's James Brown. Gets the ball away. Here's Brad Day. He's well wrapped up. 10 seconds left on the clock away to our right. That's a shocker of a pass. Walker's well wrapped up. That's a great tackle. That's the last. Brambani dropped a goal. It's an interesting call right on half time. But Brambani has dropped a goal. So the half-time score here at the Foxes Biscuit Stadium is Batley Bulldogs 5, Featherstone Rovers 8. Bit of a strange one. Started off well for the Bulldogs with a try for Wayne Retty. Pat Walker couldn't convert it. That was after 13 minutes. Briscoe then replied for Rovers with a try, which couldn't be converted. Before Duckworth went over in the corner as well. That gave Rovers an 8-4 lead. And then, strangely, on half-time, Don Brambani dropping a goal right on the hooter to make it Batley 5, Featherstone Rovers 8. Rovers do have the lead, Joanne, but maybe not as big a lead as they would have wanted coming down the slope.
No, like I say, it's always a 12-point slope, is this. Although that didn't occur when we played them the penultimate game of the season, did it? Because they didn't score 12 points against us then. So it all depends on the attitude that Featherstone come out with in the second half. There's been patches of brilliance in that first half performance by Featherstone. There's been patches of not so great. There was a time, I think about 10 to 15 minutes into the game, we were really scrappy. We couldn't complete. It was, not good to see, but we seem to get it together a little bit then. Batley, when they get up into the Featherstone territory, they do look dangerous with the ball in hand. They look lively. We're not sure what they're going to do, but the Featherstone defence has held out, apart from that quite freakish try that Batley scored.
That's been one of the key points for Rovers. That's the defence in the first half. The Bulldogs have thrown a lot at Rovers at times, but other than, like I say, one freakish try, Rovers' defence in this first half especially has matched up well, hasn't it?
It has, yeah, especially near the line as well. They've been very professional near the line, managed to get those tackles in. But the fact remains that it's a 3-point game going into the second half, so it should make for an interesting second half going up that hill.
It should indeed. It is half-time here at the Foxes Biscuit Stadium. Rovers have the lead, but maybe not the lead they would have wanted. It is Batley Bulldogs 5, Featherstone Rovers 8. 1-2, 1-2. One, two, 1-2. Welcome back to the second half here at the Fox's Biscuit Stadium here in Batley. Batley Bulldogs 5, Featherstone Rovers 8. Rovers are going to be playing up the slope in the second half. Same as they did in the Challenge Cup tie. In what was a tight game in the Challenge Cup, if I remember rightly. And the Bulldogs only really pulled away with that 3 tries in that second half spell in the 10 minutes, didn't they?
I believe so. I was at a wedding, so I don't know.
But it's the Bulldogs 5, Rovers 8. Rovers are going to get first use of the ball. And I think the biggest thing for Rovers is they need a good opening 10 minutes. Keep the Bulldogs out. What they can't afford to do, Joanne, is let the Bulldogs get on a roll.
That's true. They need to score first, I think. That's the key. Early points in the second half will make Batley doubt themselves. Give Featherstone a high kick off there. Difficult one to beat. It's bounce. They've let it bounce, but eventually it's taken by Steve Snitch there over on that far side. But it was a towering kickoff, and all the Featherstone players were just watching it, and it bounced, and it could have gone anywhere, that one, Ben.
So Sam Day finds Luke Cooper. Here's Snitch now. Good defence there, though, from the Bulldogs. So Danny Craven in attacking halfback. That's out on the full. Not the end to the set that Featherstone Rovers wanted there. Great pressure on the kicker. It wasn't Danny Craven with the boot to ball. I think that might have been Thackeray with the kick. But such good pressure on the kicker there that the ball out on the full. And instead of starting off in their own half, Joanne, the Bulldogs are 25 out.
So, you know, when I was saying we needed early points, that wasn't the game plan, I don't think. So the ball went there. Sam Day ended up with the ball. He got tackled with the ball. Danny Craven then went in at acting half, and it went out to Anthony Thackeray. And it was a poor kick by any count of the imagination, because even if it had stayed in the field of play, it didn't go very far. So I think he really miskicked it. What we've got now is Batley 10 metres away from the Featherstone line and in a dangerous position.
Indeed, and here's Adam Gladhill. He's held up a couple of metres short. Here's the last tackle for the Bulldogs. Luke Blake with a drop-off pass to Brown. Brown kicks. What a take that was. Great defensive take from Featherstone Rovers. Here goes Tyler Papa. So Rovers bringing the ball out now. Here's Brad Tagg. Craven in attacking half-back again now. Snitch. There's the last tackle. Rovers 35 out, centre field. It goes right. This time it is Craven with boot to ball. But that's well trapped. And a good return. So the Bulldogs starting on their own 30, Joanne.
Yeah, looked hard work getting out of that Batley 20-30 metre area, didn't it, there for Featherstone? They were in the 10-15 metres for a long time, managed to just go a bit forward. This is the thing when you're having to run up that hill. But it was a decent kick in the end by Thackeray. Dave Scott managed to trap it, but Batley have easily made the inroads back into the Featherstone half. And there they are out on the outside with Dave Scott himself, and they're 40 metres away from the line. Sean Squires takes it up. Josh Walters wraps him up with the assistance of Luke Cooper. Ball goes out to the left to Brambani. He puts a big towering kick on, and it's going to be for James Duckworth to take. He takes it well, and he runs behind the post. James Duckworth has had a great game, and he beats the first tackler and gets wrapped up. That was great play by James Duckworth. He shouted to Ian Harbin, "That's my ball." He took the ball full, ran round the back of the post and made it out of the danger area, and that was a great play by James Duckworth.
Had a difficult early couple of games, did James Duckworth, but in the past few he's really stepped up a level, and he doesn't look out of place at all now in this Rovers team. And here they are now with Tyler Papa. They're into the Bulldogs half. That's the last tackle. So Craven again, boot to ball. That's going to hold up brilliantly. How's the chase? The Bulldogs starting on their own 10, Joanne.
What a hit there that was. Luke Cooper, brilliant hit. He's such a hard tackler, isn't he? But I was just going to say, that was a better set of 6 by Featherstone there. If you think of how many metres they made forward, it was great play to get up over to the 40-metre line, the Batley 40-metre line. The kick came from Craven. It was placed perfectly, and Batley having to bring it from their own in-goal area. They have made it up to their 40, though, and it's the last tackle. Ball will go to Brambani. As usual, he gets pressure put on him by Sam Day. Referee says play on. The ball's bouncing all over. Josh Walters catches it though, and he's tackled by 3 or 4 Batley players. Batley fans screaming for a penalty. There was absolutely nothing wrong with what Sam Day did to Brambani there. He just challenged him on the ball. And that's what we need to start doing, because it always goes to Brambani for that kick. And that's what we need to start doing this second half. I'm glad to see we're doing it.
Excellent effort there from Featherstone Rovers. Sam Day finds Craven, who drops off to Cooper. Cooper, Rovers are just outside the Bulldogs 30 here. It goes right with Craven again. Drills that for the corner. That is a perfect kick from Danny Craven. And with 6 minutes gone, still Batley Bulldogs 5, Featherstone Rovers 8. And again, a perfect way to end that set. Craven judging that kick perfectly, Joanne.
The last few passages of play by Featherstone has been excellent. So the first set of 6 where Danny Craven landed the ball in the in-goal area, that was a great set of 6. And then the defence against the Batley set, the returning set, again was good. And it was good pressure by Sam Day on Dominic Brambani that led to the kick being rushed and Featherstone being able to pick the ball up in a position that they want to. And then that set of 6, we've ended up with Batley having to bring it from their own 10-metre. This is what we need to do. We need to be having Batley in their own half, and we need to hunt that mistake from them. Complete our sets of 6. Don't give us that. That's a penalty. Looked to be a knock-on to me, to be honest, but Steve Snitch or Bradley Tagg, I'm not sure who it was, were deemed to have pulled the ball out of the tackle there. Unlucky for me, it did look to bobble out, and I'm not sure if it was a loose carry, but the referee's given the penalty to Batley. So they've made some metres down this field, and they're 30 metres away from the line on that first tackle.
Lillycrop plays the ball to Blake. Brown changes direction. It's back with Blake, and an early kick from Brambani this time. Ian Hardman not interested. Oh, that's a mistake. What a mistake that was from Ian Hardman. Ian Hardman trying to let the ball run dead. For me, he did look to have his foot over the line, but the in-goal judge has said no, and the referee has given a dropout, Joanne.
You can't say whether he had the foot over the line or not from here, because that in-goal judge is a lot closer than we are, so you can't possibly say that he had his foot over the line or not. But Ian Hardman was convinced that he had. The in-goal judge wasn't, so that's why the dropout has gone to Batley, and they are going to be bringing it up from the 30-metre line. That's good defence by Featherstone. The ball's offloaded, but Lillycrop manages to pick it up for Batley. Patch Walker. John Sharp's just come past and he says he's got a footage up there and he sees that Ian Hardman's foot's over the line. The only other thing that might have prevented it was if the ball had stopped rolling. Even though you have your foot over the line, if the ball stopped rolling before it goes out, it's still a drop out. But we can't tell. We can't see the footage, can we? But John Sharp did.
John Sharp is adamant his foot was over the line. That's a nice kick from Walker as he got it down. It's held up. Outstanding defence. Outstanding defence from Featherstone Rovers. Ian Hardman was in there. Bradley Tagg was in there. Bradley Tagg is another player for Rovers. He has been immense since he's come on. And we've had 10 minutes gone in the second half. It's still Batley 5, Featherstone Rovers 8. There's a penalty for Rovers. So Danny Craven once again with ball in hand. Finds touch. And Rovers are going to start just inside the Bulldogs half. Talapapa's tap to Walters. Sam Day finds Thackeray. Here's Luke Cooper now. Day again. He's going to have a scoot. Rovers on the 20. Centre field. Come left with Thackeray now. Thackeray through a gap! Thackeray through a gap! He's held up inches short. There's interference again. Another penalty. And Batley has got to be careful because if they're not careful, Mr. Cobb's going to start giving warnings. But Rovers with a great opportunity. I'll come to Joanne in a minute. Taking the 2 points. That's a interesting call. It stretches the lead out to 5 points. And with 11 minutes gone, it's Batley 5, Featherstone 8. A penalty to come. But if Batley aren't careful, Joanne, they're going to be on a warning at this rate.
Yeah, I'll just go back to the 2 points first. It's sensible players that you need to be taking the points as soon as you get up there. When you're on this slope at Batley, there's not many opportunities that you'll get up near that try line. And if you're offered an easy 2 points, which this should be for Jamie Foster, then take it. And the fact is that they will get the ball back. Just see Sam Smeaton about to enter the field, former Featherstone Rover. So, yeah, we will get the ball back from this, providing Jamie Foster makes the ball go dead. So it's a sensible option, is that. Good play by Anthony Thackeray leading up to it. But Batley, yes, they did hold on too long, didn't they? Could have been, again, there's a couple of professional fouls been going in when Featherstone have been on the up that you could argue have prevented tries from being scored when Batley's defence has been broken. I think Mr. Cobb will be watching Batley very carefully for the remainder of this half.
There was one in the first half, I thought, as well, on Duckworth, I think it was, which could easily have been a yellow card at the time. That one also could have been a yellow card. Foster has kicked the goal. That stretches the lead out to 5 points. Puts the pressure on Batley. If they are going to score a try, they have to convert it. So that lead stretches out to 5. It's Batley Bulldogs 5, Featherstone Rovers 10. Rovers are going to get this ball back. This time the kickoff is taken by Hardman. Good drive in from Snitch. Here goes Cooper now.
Just going to say, he's had a good game since he's come on as Luke Cooper, hasn't he?
He has. He's played really well. Here goes Talapapa. I'm not sure if he's won a penalty or not yet this afternoon. He has. Here's Josh Walters. Thackeray Bradley tag. Here's the last tackle, says Mr. Cobb. Brown Barney was very quick off the mark then. That's a great kick. Retrieved by Alex Brown. It's a good chase as well. But Alex Brown does well. Eventually tackled by Snitch. Here's Aluja now. Ouch. Bradley tag is one of the things I have to say, Joanne, that has really impressed me about this Rovers team today is the impact and the performance that the substitutes have made. On comes Alex Rowe and off comes James Brown. I'll come to Joanne in a minute. There's another offload. Here's Dave Scott. It's the last tackle now. Walker puts the ball in the air. Well taken again by Duckworth again. Still goes to Duckworth. We're going to see the return of Tim Spears in a moment. There's an offload. Here's Tyler Papa. That could have been high. It's been given as a knock-on. Referee is though he's going to speak to his touch judge.
All I could see was it looked as though the ball was ripped out from Talapapa, so it should either be a 2-on-1. No, it's gone to Batley. I felt the ball was ripped out there, but the scrum has gone to Batley. Touch judge deemed that it was ripped out, but it wasn't a knock-on. So, yep, confusing call maybe there. But Batley in a dangerous position here, 30 metres away from the Featherstone Rovers line. They're going to have the put in at this scrum with Bram Barney, which he does. It's taken from the back of scrum by Leak. It goes to Walker, out to Aluja. Aluja gets wrapped up out there by Luke Briscoe on that Featherstone right-hand side of defence. Comes in inside now to Brad Day, but he's wrapped up.
Here's Luke Blake now. Through the hands it goes. That's Meaton. 15 metres out now, the Bulldogs. Alex Rowe on the charge. It's well held. Oh, that is no more a penalty. Bulldogs are going to take 2. Yes, they are. Bit of a strange call again. Batley taking 2, but Joanne?
I agree. That is a stranger call than us taking 2 up the other end, to be honest. But immediately as that penalty was given, both the doctor and the water carrier for Batley stuck their fingers up in the air saying 2. So yeah, it was as if that was the plan, that if they got up there and they got a penalty, they'd take the 2 points. Again, I guess they'll get the ball back, but I'd have thought that I think it's just because both teams are respecting that this is a really tight game at the moment.
Bradley Tagg is coming off for Rovers. He's had a great game. But so Pat Walker does convert. What it does do, of course, with 23.5 minutes left here at the Fox's Biscuit Stadium, it brings the Bulldogs back within 4 points. So if the Bulldogs do score a try, they will take the lead by a point. Takes the pressure off Pat Walker with a conversion. Tim Spears is in discussion with Mr. Cobb about something.
Yeah, not sure what it is about, but obviously John Sharp has got the video with him, and he'll have seen quite a few things that the message will have got to Tim Spears, and the captain has every right to have a chat with the referee to ask questions. That's the captain's prerogative, and that's what he's doing. So good play by Tim Spears. The kickoff is high. Keegan Hurst takes it in, takes it up to the 20-metre line.
So Keegan Hurst plays that ball. The ball is worked out left again. Here's Brad Day. Rovers are going to bring back on Andy Ellis and Darryl Griffin in a minute. Dave Scott. Referee says no, that's the shoulder. Here's Brad Day again. Luke Blake. Great defence from Cooper. Just inside the Rovers half. That is clever play. Luke Blake knew exactly what he was doing then. Luke Cooper hadn't cleared the ruck. So Luke Blake, just threw the ball straight at Luke Cooper. And straight away the penalty given.
Where's Luke Cooper supposed to go in that instance? He's just made 2 tackles on the bounce. He did clear the ruck and he stood there with his hands in the air. Where is he supposed to go? Really difficult one, isn't it? And it's almost like, it's playing the rule book, but they've done it. Brambani dancing. Looks like he's over the try line here. I think he is. He's lost the ball. Now then, what's the referee going to give? The ball has been lost over the line because Missy Talapapa has come away. Brambani went. It's no try. It's no try. So Featherstone breathe easy. Brambani there was sidestepping through the Featherstone defence. He went to reach out, I think, above his head to score the try, but in doing so, he's lost it. Luke Briscoe taking the tap, and some ridiculous tackling going on there. First of all, they were offside with Batley, and secondly, it was a grapple tackle around Luke Briscoe's head. Things are definitely getting tasty here, aren't they, Ben?
This is getting really tasty. There's a penalty. It's Talapapa who wins the penalty again. I'd love to see the stats, Joanne, of how many penalties he's won for Rovers this year. I would dread to think, because Rovers now, though, in the Bulldogs half, on the Bulldogs 30. Here goes Missy Talapapa again. This is getting really tasty. What a last quarter we've got left of this match. Andy Ellis now. Craven finds Snitch. Craven again to Thackeray. Away from one S, Thackeray. Finds Griffin. Griffin and Spears are back on. Craven again. Ormondroyd's back on. What? That's back to 1. Drop on it, Ian. That's got to be back to 1.
It's a penalty to Batley. There was no need to do that, but the Batley player. So what happened? The ball came loose on the last. Danny Craven went for it. The Batley player was held back as he went for the ball, so that's why the penalty has gone to Batley. I'm afraid it was a penalty.
In all fairness, I was following the ball. I didn't see what happened in back play. But the Bulldogs are going to start in the Rovers half. Alex Rowe. Leak. Here's Brad Day again. That ball's loose. It's a penalty for Featherstone now for an incorrect play of the ball. Well, that's a big call. It's the right call, but it's a big call.
Shocking play by Batley there. He didn't stand up to play the ball. It was incorrect play of the ball. Correct decision by the ref. So penalty's gone to Featherstone. And I was just about to wonder when the Featherstone defence would crack, because they've been under the cosh quite a bit in this half, as we would expect. with this slope at Batley. I know I keep talking about it, but it is such a, it does have such an impact on the passage of play during a game. Anyway, Featherstone have got the ball taken up to the Featherstone 40-metre line with Luke Briscoe. Goes inside to Jack Ormonroyd, who takes it over halfway, pumping his legs. Plays the ball. Andy Ellis takes it himself. Nearly gets caught. Goes to snitch. He does get caught. That was a good tackle there. Ball comes out to the left to Josh Walters. Josh Walters is tackled that. He's gone up to the Batley 30-metre line. So Featherstone making good metres forward in this set of 6. Goes to Nancy Thackeray. Oh, the ball behind Daryl Griffin. Danny Craven does well to pick up, but the lost 10 metres of Featherstone. And that's a penalty. Silly play by Batley, that was silly play. No need to do that at all. Brad Day decided to have a second go at Danny Craven. And it was on the 5th tackle, and the lost 10 metres had Featherstone with a poor pass by Thackeray that went behind Griffin. Danny Craven picked it up on the Batley 40-metre line, and Brad Day just decided to have a second go at Danny Craven. And Danny Craven himself kicks the ball to touch, 20 metres away from that try line. And Andy Ellis is going to, Luke Briscoe takes the tap, Tim Spears takes that first drive in. Andy Ellis waiting at dummy half, it goes to Daryl Griffin. Daryl Griffin going towards the post. He's literally 2 metres away. Great drive by Griffin. Ellis gets it out to the left, goes to Hardman, but Batley have got their defence stacked up there on this Featherstone left-hand side of attack. Ellis waiting at dummy half, goes to the right to Thackeray in the middle of the field, dummies a little bit, goes to Ormonroyd, who takes it forward, goes over the 10-metre line, 10 metres away. Featherstone goes out to the right, quick play the ball to Craven. Craven held up. Again, a metre away from the line. That's ball's looping to Duckworth. That's a terrible pass to Duckworth, but Alex Brown catches the ball. But Duckworth puts him into touch, and it's a Featherstone scrum. So after that poor pass out to James Duckworth, Alex Brown picked the ball up, but he ended up going into touch with it because Duckworth recovered and tackled him into touch. So it's actually ended up quite beneficial for Featherstone, has that, Ben?
Rovers will take that quite happily. I'm wondering myself, with 16 minutes left, if Rovers struggle to get through, if you'd maybe think about a 1-pointer ourselves, stretch it out to 4 points. I know it's only a 4-point lead, but could that have a psychological effect as well? We'll get Joanne's thoughts on that in a minute. Just waiting for the scrum to set. There's a Batley player down in back play. So if Rovers do struggle to go over John, what do you think about the 1 point maybe?
I think it'd all depend on how far away we were from the line. If it's near the line, no, I won't be seeking a 1 point, but a speculative 1 point, why not? You know, if we're about 40 metres away from the line and we're not going to get over, then why not go for it? And you do get the ball back as well, of course.
We're going to see the return of Baldwinson in a minute. Thackeray to Ian Hardman, though. Rovers are trying to make a change. Here's Steve Snitch. Is it going to be Snitch coming off? Yes, it is. On comes Baldwinson. It's put out wide, though, for Rovers. Here's Briscoe. That's got an untidy play, the ball again. There's a penalty. How many times is Mr. Cobb going to let this go? Now do you take the 2? 15, no, they don't. They're tapping it. Here's Griffin. Thackeray. Walters just can't take it. It's gone backwards. It's gone backwards, so Walters retrieves it. Referee's white, the tackle count clean. Here's Walters again. This is a real humdinger of a match. Ellis Baldwinson's back on. Ellis again, Thackeray now. Moves it out to Craven. Craven tries to take on the line. The ball's found touch though. A right mile from Danny Evans on the touchline as he looks towards John Sharp, and that will disappoint John Sharp. And with 15 minutes left, sorry. It's still Batley Bulldogs 7, Featherstone Rovers 10, Joanne.
Looking really good in attack there, weren't we? But that play, it just almost seems as though Danny Craven ran out of field room. He took it over on the right, looking really, and I was thinking, when's he going to straighten up? When's he going to straighten up? But he didn't until too late. Batley there taking the scrum. I mean, Batley have got the scrum on the 10 metre. It's not a bad place to turn the ball over, but you just want something better when you're near that line, don't you? And in hindsight, maybe we should have taken the 2. I don't know. You got to go for it though, haven't you?
Here's Sam Smeaton now. This is better defence from Featherstone Rovers. Rowe. That's it. Attempted 40-20. He's got it. It's a 40-20 from Brambani. That could be big. So it's going to be scrum down, head and feed to the Bulldogs. Just inside the Rovers 20. Brambani with the ball in hand, feeds that scrum. I'll come to Joanne in a minute. Walker moves it out to Dave Scott. Scott. Well wrapped up there by Jack Ormondroyd. Here's Brad Day again. 12 minutes left. Hurst. Rowe has to reach for that one. Well held up by Baldwinston though. Here's Keegan Hurst. Leak finds Brambani. Walker. Luke Blake, and that's great defence. Here's the last tackle. Brambani puts a crossfield kick in. Taken well by Foster. He's lost the ball. The pressure is building on Featherstone Rovers, but up to press, Joanne. Batley have got to play it down as well. But Joanne, this all stems really from a great 40-20 by Brambani.
Yeah, I couldn't quite see from the position that I was just doing the technical equipment, but could Jamie Foster have prevented that 40-20, Ben?
He wasn't quite dropped back far enough maybe, but it was still a great kick, and now to force the mistake on the back of that, a repeat set in the Rovers 20-metre area. The Bulldogs need to look to get, they have to get over here, but in this second half, Rovers' defence against the Bulldogs going down this slow, Joanne, has been absolutely superb.
Certainly, yeah, it has. Just having a look, there's a few players down at the moment. There's one down with cramp under the post, a Featherstone Rovers player. There's a Batley player receiving attention. He's on his back behind the try line. I can't quite see who that is. But there's a few crop players, and I think that just shows the intensity of this game and how tight. Yeah, it's Jack Ormondroyd. I mean, he's done a full game so far. He's got cramp there underneath the post. Can't quite see the Batley player, but yeah, Jamie Foster did well to take that ball then, didn't he? But as he came down with it and was tackled by Retty, lost the ball in the tackle. Batley player's back on his feet, but he's not looking too good. Looks as though he's done something with his shoulder, I think maybe. Probably when he was contesting that ball against Foster, he's landed heavily. Could be a collarbone injury, that, with the way that they've strapped his arm up. As it is, Batley have got this scrum on the Featherstone 10 metre. It's going to take a lot to keep them out now. Patch Walker with the ball. Look, he lays it off on the inside and Batley go on the charge. And great defence by Featherstone to keep him out there. Plays the ball. They're literally a metre away from the line of Batley. They don't know where to go, though. That was Alistair Leake looking around to see where to go. Ball's played back to Walker, again to Brambani. Goes across there and to Smeaton, who gets the ball out the back. And that's a try to Batley. It was on the cards. It's Wayne Retty with his second of the game. Our old player, Sam Smeaton, with good centre play, got the ball out the back to Retty. We've been under the cosh for so long. 10 minutes remaining in the game. Batley 11, Featherstone Rovers 10. There's a kick to Cumbria. It's a touchline kick, Ben.
It is Sean Squires who was injured in the build-up to that try. Excellent play, though, from Sam Smeaton. And Wayne Retty with his second of the afternoon. Pat Walker as tight to the touchline as you can get. Crucially, the Bulldogs have a 1 point lead with 10 minutes left. A crucial kick this for Pat Walker. And he looked back at passages in the play earlier on, Joanne, where Rovers were up on the Batley line. They opted not to take the 2 points. If they had done, that would have made this kick even more crucial. Nowhere near with the kick, so crucially it is still 1 point. But it's Batley Bulldogs 11, Featherstone Rovers 10. And we've got 9 minutes, 46 seconds left, Joanne.
It's been tight all afternoon, hasn't it, this game? It's a 1 point game at the moment, 9 minutes remaining. I'm guessing Featherstone, when they get up there, they'll be after some points. They need those points now. Gone behind in the game. It's a short kick-off. See what happens here, and it's patted back by Batley, and they managed to come up with it with Walker, and then he gets it away to Brown. But Brown's wrapped up. But crucially, Batley regained possession from that kick-off. Brown plays the ball. It's taken up now to the Batley 30-metre line.
Here's Keegan Hurst now. Signed on for Wakefield, of course, next year, Keegan Hurst, following John Keir. An early kick from Walker. No, that's not. It was just outside the 40. I thought he was outside the 40 then. He was. I was in line with I'm in line with the Batley 40 there. And it was just the wrong side of it for a 40-20. But even so, from a Batley point of view, that's a perfect way to back up a try in such a tight game as this.
Great kick, wasn't it? You know, like you say, it's put Featherstone in a position 10 metres from our own line, having to work our way back up this slope again towards the end of a game. It's energy sapping is this slope, and the Featherstone Rovers legs, especially the forwards legs, will be feeling it. They'll be getting a bit of lactic in. We saw Jack Ormonroyd getting treatment for cramp, didn't we, under the posts. Tim Spears, though, doesn't look to have any lactic acid. He's evaded the first few tackles, makes it up to the 30-metre line. Slow going, though. Baldwinson to Talapapa. They're going out wide. He gets right up. He gets the ball stolen. That's got to be a penalty. Correct decision by Mr. Cobb there. And really, Batley need to be having a word with here, because it was Keegan Hurst quite... Well, it's quite obvious a penalty. There was 3 players on Missy Talapapa. We're not going to argue, though. It's taking us up the field. Featherstone are going to take this tap 20 metres away from the Batley line, and Darryl Griffin with a barnstorming run takes it to 8 metres away from the line. He plays the ball to Andy Ellis. Andy Ellis to Baldwinson. Baldwinson takes it towards the posts. Baldwinson just short of the line, goes to Ellis, goes to the right, to Craven. Ball held up a little bit there. Ben's saying go for one. I'm not sure if that's in the plan at the moment. It goes to Josh Walters. He juggles with the ball a little bit, 10 metres away from the line. He tries to milk a penalty there, I think, but referee's having none. Goes to Thackeray. Thackeray passes to Talapapa. Talapapa was coming on the inside. He'd already overran the ball, unfortunately. So Batley are going to get this ball back. 6 minutes, 54 seconds remaining. Batley are going to be on that 10-metre line with the scrum. Featherstone will be hunting the mistake, and Ben's shouting for one.
So tight, such a tight game. And we're well into the last 6, 7 or 8 minutes now. Jack Ormondroyd has finally come off for Rovers. He's had a wow of a stint. Alex Rowe comes off for the Bulldogs as well. Here's James Brown. Here's Lillycrop now. Alistair Leake dancing away. Still going, Alistair Leake. Eventually wrapped up by Walters and Griffin. Here's Lillycrop again. Here's the last tackle. Brambani. That's better. Superb defence from Featherstone Rovers. Absolutely superb defence on Don Brambani. On that last tackle, the 3 or 4 players, Joanne, swarmed around him, cut his options down, and instead of starting in their own 20 or 10, they're starting on their own 40, and Mr. Cobb is calling out the 2 captains.
I've been calling it all game, haven't I? Brambani is their only kicker, more or less, and in the field of play. And that's all we needed to do, was to target him, because the ball goes to him on that last. All you need to do is target him and wrap him up and stop him doing those kicks. And that's what we did. And we've got the ball in a really advantageous position here. We've made it over the halfway line. We've made it into the Featherstone Rovers half on the second tackle. Would be great if we could get a penalty, but see if we can do it ourselves. Daryl Griffin took the ball standing still a little bit there. Featherstone 40 metres away from the Batley line. It seems a long way at the minute. Andy Ellis didn't look to be a lot of options laid on for him then, so he's had to take the ball himself. Thackeray to Baldwinson. Baldwinson with some strong running. And it's the last tackle. Do we go for the one? Do we go for the one? Do we go for the try? No, we're going for the try, because Craven puts it up in the air. It could come down anywhere. It comes to Featherstone. It's knocked on though, so the referee has said first knock on. It should be, it's Batley ball, because it was the last tackle, so it's a Batley ball. So the Batley bringing it away from their own line. The Featherstone attack comes to nothing. 4 minutes remaining in this game. It's Batley Bulldogs 11, Featherstone Rovers 10.
Less than 5 minutes left here. The Bulldogs in possession. Oh, that's superb play. Alistair Leake's away. Alistair Leake's still going. Still going. Gets the ball to Brambani. The Bulldogs on the Rovers 20 now. Brown. James Brown, that is. No. He was tackled there, was James Brown. Brambani again. Here's Lillycrop. Under 4 minutes left. Blake. Brambani. Well wrapped up again. Here's the last. It was on the last. Referee stops the clock with 3.5 minutes left. How Rovers would love a penalty right now, Joanne. John Sharp is in touch with the match, with the officials. He's not happy with something at all, isn't John Sharp?
I think there's a few decisions this afternoon he's not been happy with, especially the Ian Hardman one, where it was deemed to have gone dead for a dropout, and he wasn't happy at all. Wasn't John Sharp with that decision, and he's having a word with the match commissioner down there, asking for a forward pass of the Batley fans as it went to Darryl Griffin there, but the referee's not interested. Featherstone still short of halfway. The kick's going to come. Thackeray with a little dink over the top. It's being chased, but Batley wrap it up. You feel that with 2 minutes 40 seconds, time's running out for Featherstone as Josh Walters takes the tackle. Batley will be playing this ball as slow as you can bet. This will be the slowest set of 6 you've ever seen, Ben, this one.
Sam Smeaton plays the ball. Here goes Luke Blake. James Brown now. Lillycrop. Brambani just drills it into touch. It'll be a scrum down, head and feed on the Rovers 10. For this on a number of occasions in the past, Joanne. There's no fullback here. So at this stage of the game, with less than 2 minutes left on the clock, I'm surprised Batley fullback hasn't dropped back, but would you go for it from the base?
Well, do you go for broke? Have we got fast enough players on the field that could do that? It's a big gamble. It's right up, going up, but we've not gone for it anyway. So that's taken that discussion and debate out of it. But it's going to take a mammoth task for Featherstone to get back up in the right end of the field, even to go for a drop goal at this point in time. Goes to James Duckworth. He takes it forward, though, over the Featherstone Rovers 40-metre line. So we're a good 40, 50 metres away from where we'd like to be. Goes out to Ellis. It comes over to the other side to Thackeray, to Talapapa. Retty had dropped back. Talapapa's passed the ball, and Brambani dives on it. And as you'll hear from the Batley crowd, they're absolutely ecstatic. Brambani retrieved that ball. Talapapa just passed it out the back door, and the ball went to ground. And that, for me, is the game. Smeaton just playing the ball there to Leake. It goes to James Brown. James Brown's tackled 30 metres away from the Featherstone line. 46 seconds remaining on this clock. Time has literally run out for Featherstone in this game. Batley looking to seal the victory even more now, as Featherstone, with their dogged defence, as they have been all game. And you do have to look at some points in the game, Ben, where we maybe could have taken extra points, and it's difficult to. But that's a great kick by Brambani. There's a mix-up behind the post from Feather. It's going to be a dropout. That was a great crossfield kick from Brambani, and it was Dave Scott who came on the angle to chase it. Scott just overran it. It's going to be a dropout. Craven drops out. Batley catch it. There, the full-time hooter goes. Batley players with their arms in the air. They realise that they are off the bottom of the table tonight. It's finished Batley Bulldogs 11, Featherstone Rovers 10. So if we look at what happened, there was a Wayne Retty try, 13 minutes, made it 4-0. That was replied by a Featherstone Rovers try with Luke Briscoe that levelled those scores up. James Duckworth put Featherstone in the lead for the first time in the game at 8-4. Brambani, we thought it was a strange decision, didn't we, Bennett? When Brambani kicked that drop goal on 40 minutes, we said it was a strange decision, but it's the one that's been the deciding factor in this game. Then in the second half, we had Jamie Foster kicking a penalty to Featherstone, made it 5 points in front at 10-5, and then it's been all Batley ever since. Patch Walker with a penalty, making it 10-7, and then Wayne Retty with that try 10 minutes before the end to make it the final score of 11-10. And like I say, that drop goal from Brombarney, the speculative one on that half-time hooter, has been the difference this afternoon.
It has indeed. Disappointment for Featherstone Rovers. Fans around us saying, why didn't we take the 2 when we had a chance? Why haven't we taken drop goals? Which I said myself earlier on. Is this for you? Is this Batley have won it or have Featherstone lost it?
It's hard. It's a tight game. We were fancying ourselves. Sean Wayne had exactly the same criticism with Wigan, didn't he, on Friday night? I think it was Thursday night, when he didn't take the 2 and he should have done. It's so hard for a coach during a game and a captain to decide when you feel that your team's got the momentum to stop that momentum, and when there's a long time left in the game to go for the 2 points. At that point, we felt that we didn't need to take the 2. It's just the way that the game goes. Sometimes you take your chances, sometimes you miss your chances. If we'd have scored a try, we wouldn't be having this conversation, would we?
Who's your RoversTv man of the match?
My RoversTv man of the match today is going to go to James Duckworth, just purely because of the fact when he first started playing for us, he looked a player really low on confidence. He looked a player who, if a high ball came near him, scared stiff. But today he's played with confidence, with assurance, with reliability. He's tackled well. He's made breaks. He's fielded balls behind the dead ball line well and brought them out into the field of play. So James Duckworth, perhaps Danny Craven is a close second because he's had a good kicking game today. But James Duckworth gets my man of the match.
So James Duckworth is named RoversTv man of the match. It has finished here at the Fox's Biscuits Stadium. Defeat once again for Featherstone Rovers. The Bulldogs get after Mark. Rovers are now back at the bottom of the table with a trip to Salford to come next week. But it has finished here. Thank you for your company, Joanne.
No problem.
The final score here at the Fox's Biscuits Stadium. 11. Featherstone Rovers 10.